What's up, y'all? It's your boy Drew. Hopefully this is working. Let me know if you can hear me. It's my first stream ever using StreamYard, so please let me know if you can hear me. Sorry. There. Hopefully we don't have the echoey audio now. I hope. Let's make sure you guys can hear me. They hear me. Jessica Jane says, Glenn Miller, good to see you here. Carrie, Liberian, and Davey Crocco, good to see you guys here. So I've never done StreamYards before. So what I want to do is this new type show, maybe like a different topic every week. So in my mind, this is how it goes, and understand this is a live stream and things happen differently than what you plan on a live stream. What I'd like to do is use the first hour. You guys can use the pinned comment in the chat. You call in through that StreamYards thing. You just need your phone if you're on a desktop or whatever. And I'd like to just have one-on-one conversations with people during the first hour. Tonight, I'd like to hear stories of people that have had some kind of a supernatural experience. You saw a UFO, you saw a Bigfoot, you saw a ghost, anything like that. That's what I want to talk about tonight, or just hear your different stories, because I don't really have too many. I guess I have a couple I could share. And I have some things to talk about for filler if no one's calling in yet, or if I can't figure out how to do the StreamYards or whatever. But then I'd like to do that one-on-one in the first hour, just me and you one-on-one. And then when we get to the second hour, I'd be down to have like panel discussions, have people come on. Second hour shit show, free for all, where we can talk about pretty much whatever. Maybe we start talking about these types of topics, but I'm fine if the conversation goes anywhere. Now, I don't know how to tell if anyone's even showing up in the stream, but we're going to figure this out. I do have some filler to start the show. Now, Days of Noah, one of the best in the game. Shout out to Days of Noah. I made a little video. It's just over a minute. The pinned link is how you would call in. It's in the live chat. It should just be pinned up there. But don't play this little video. It's about a minute long, minute and a half. Then we'll talk about it.
With that world, you know, I live to do with that world. You know, I live to my best ability apart from the world, man. I like my simple life, and I'm not interested in any of that stuff. Period. You know, that type of attention is, you know, I'm not interested in that. Yeah, shock body. Yeah, man. I was a bike messenger in San Francisco for 4.5 years, and they needed somebody. They needed a real skilled cyclist, an actual man on the street.
We know our customers have busy lives. That's why we're working hard to improve our customer service. Now you can tweet us or choose a time for us to call you right from our app. So wherever you are, we'll be there to help. I'm Taylor, Comcast Service Representative in the Bay Area. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
Pretty fun, actually. Can't lie. For me, it was just an amazing experience. That was before I came to the truth. I was definitely in the world at that time. Boy, was I.
Yeah, so shout out to Days and Noah because I was able to find that clip of him, and I asked him, and he addressed it like a man. He wasn't like dodging the question, and he just said, "Yeah, I was of the world at that time." Right now, a schizo like Fat Elvis in the chat here is going to say, "Well, that means he works for Comcast." I don't think it does. I mean, if he got a check from Comcast once, does he work for him? If he gets a YouTube monetization, does he work for Google? He seemed pretty honest and straightforward and genuine about how that happened. The dude's got over 100K. He's a hell of a grinder. He grinds for 5 hours a day. Or he did, not every day, but a couple times a week. And just the preparation to put on a 5-hour stream would be, I don't know, three hours of preparation, maybe a little more. Who knows? So that's one heck of a grind to do that kind of schedule. And that's why he's got over 100,000 subscribers, because he grinded it out. I don't think he shortcutted it. I don't feel like he got a what do you call it? Like a fake algorithm push. Like some of these other channels I seem like came out of nowhere and just rocketed up. It seemed like his was slow and consistent to me anyway. So that's my filler since no one's calling in. Speaking of grinding 5 hours a day and building a channel. See, Fat Elvis is down in the story. I believe him. Why do you not believe him, Fat Elvis? Because you're a schizo conspiracy. We're bringing back the schizo into conspiracy, so that's a good thing. I'm not making fun of you. But speaking of grinding 5-hour live streams every day, our boy in a yurt with books, rest in peace to the channel. Austin, you may have seen him on the Chalk Body channel. We had a little discussion. It got over good. People liked it. Ewar shared it. I thought it was a good little discussion. Sorry, I'm reading Fat Elvis is tripping. He don't believe it. But then in a yurt with books, he went full 5-hour streams a day, every day. The channel was growing. He had to be close to the 4,000 hour requirement to get monetized. He had over, or somewhere around the number of 250 subscribers, which for the few months he was on, that's pretty good, man. People think it just happens overnight, and it doesn't. It's a grind. So he started having a lot of these sovereign citizens on. I wish I could play it for you, but the channel's gone. And then one day he just nuked the channel, like a couple days ago. And then out of nowhere, he spawns this new channel that's called In a House with Tarot. So he went from In a Yurt with Books to In a House with Tarot. And he was going to create this whole new channel and talk about he is just going to do like tarot readings and stuff. How do I share this, man? Can I just stop sharing this? I guess. I don't know what you guys see here. Sorry, I don't know how to do this StreamYard thing yet. I think it's just full screen face now. So anyway, in a year with books, Rage quits against the machine. Channel's gone after all that hard work, and then he pops back up yesterday or the day before as in a house with tarot, and he wants to do tarot. But now when he was on In a Year with Books, he says, hey, my name's Austin. He has a website. You can go to his website where he has written his own articles, and he talks about, different books and all this different stuff. And you can see the name to that website is associated. It matches the In a Year with Books name he gave you. You can search the metadata, and it corresponds to where he said that he lived. He seemed pretty genuine and authentic to me, but I guess you never know on the internet. So In a Year with Books rebrands as In a House with Tarot. And then he comes on and says, hey, my name's actually Salvador. Austin was just a art project looking into how people get lured into charismatic cult leaders and conspiracies. So my name's actually Salvador, but you can call me Pete. I'd like to be known as Pete from now on. And we're just going to do tarot here. And actually, I live right outside of New York. And I thought, man, what a strange pivot and a strange dude, man. So I called in because he does this StreamYard, man, and he always has the panels. So I called in and kind of called him out. And I said, basically, I don't believe you. I don't believe this new story you have because it doesn't match this old website you have that goes way back in the name and the metadata that you could trace back without doxing the guy and saying too much. You can trace him to what he said seemed to be at least true enough. And all he kept saying was, well, this is art. This is art. This is an art project. So anytime I had him I didn't really have him against the wall. I was just giving my opinion on him. He just kept saying, well, it's art. It's art. This is an art project. It's an art project, right? And I called in and he kept saying, well, Drew's triggered. Drew's mad. I said, dude, I'm not mad. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. It just seems like you did a lot of work to just nuke that channel. And it's a pattern that I've noticed with this guy in the short amount of time I've known this guy. So he's had, how do I see if anyone's calling? I don't think I see anyone. He originally had this, how we connected is he put out this video talking about archaics and kind of debunking that theory. The video gained traction. We did our little collab and then he took that video down. Then later he put the video back up and he said specifically, I'm not going to delete it again. And then a couple days later, he deleted it again. Then if I have this right, he had a Discord and we had a plan to do another second live stream together. And I was in his Discord. And then all of a sudden the day we were supposed to go live, he just nuked the Discord. It was gone. I believe from there, he created a whole second Discord, which I wasn't a part of. And then I believe he nuked that one as well. And then he had a third Discord, which was like private for his friends only, which that's fine too. But it's just this pattern I see with this guy where he's like, he seems to like, maybe he has self-doubt. I'm not sure. I can't really say why. But he likes to build the channel or do whatever and then pull it down. He seems to be real hot and cold, real wishy-washy. And I don't know. I just didn't like the Salvador thing and this whole fake backstory about his dad was some whatever hippie and whatever. There was like this long backstory he made, but now that channel's gone as well. So he's created this channel for like one day and that one's already gone too. And it's just really weird. Like we're all weird here, right? This is a group of weirdos, but his behavior is very, very, very weird for someone that's obviously intelligence. He's high intelligence. Maybe his social skills or whatever, his social intelligence or whatever isn't as high as his actual intelligence or something. It seems too weird to me. And he did say, like his motivation wasn't to monetize the channel or anything, which that's fine. You don't have to like monetize the channel, right? That's totally fine. But at least build it up. It's hard to build the channel, you know. It's a grind. Like all those 5 hours a day he did every day for weeks and weeks. Add those hours up. That's hundreds of hours he threw in the trash. And he just kept saying, "Well, it's art. It's art. I don't mind." Which I kind of understand that because myself, I record kind of a lot of songs and I'll never release. I don't even save them. I just delete them. And to me, it's just to kind of level up that skill. But then he just thought he was going to switch over to tarot. I do see a couple of you waiting in here. Give me 1 second and I'll get to you in the green room. But it just seems like very weird to me because you could just continue the channel and say, "Hey, I don't want to talk about this anymore. You guys that were here, the sovereign citizens," if that's the people he was tired of talking to, you could say, "I don't want to go that way anymore." You just switch and go to tarot. It's going to become the same thing. It's going to be the same tarot people coming in every day saying the same things and wanting the same readings. It's all going to be the same. So I don't know. Shout out to Yurt Cobain. If I could give him any advice, I would say come back, call the channel Yurt Cobain. We need to make the philosophers of today modern day rock stars and do whatever you want. Don't worry about what the crowd wants. And if you decide you do a stream and you don't like it, just make it private. Don't let those people on again or whatever. I would just say continue building your thing because it's really hard and it doesn't have to be monetized if you don't want to. But even if you could just get the super chats, just get $100 a month or something. You got kids, man. I mean, YouTube is making a lot of money on it, so you might as well. But anyway, that's my rant for Yurt Cobain. That's my filler. I got Tranquil Vortex here. What's going on, Tranquil Vortex?
How you going?
Good. Now, you were on Yurt before, weren't you?
Yeah, we were just hanging out. I thought like seemed pretty normal, like reading some books. And
what did you think when he just rage quit the channel?
I didn't even know. I have been really sick, so I saw him on the last stream and I said, "Oh, g'day." And I actually had to go out. My hubby called me in and we headed out. So I came back and it was gone and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, it was an art project." I knew that it was something that he was going to do. And he said at any time he was happy to quit it. So then it wasn't that important in terms of likes or subscribers or anything like that. But he also went in straight hard.
Yeah, he went from like 0 to 60 and he crashed into a wall called Paul Unslaved.
That was wild.
The front windshield.
That was wild.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Have you ever experienced anything supernatural, a ghost or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to hear about it. What would you like to share the story?
Okay. Which one? I've had a near-death experience.
Was it similar? Was your near-death experience, was that similar to what you hear about when people talk about the soul trap theory and everything?
I guess at 16, I died from serious complications of sepsis, and I had a heart attack, and I was up on the table looking down. Looked up. There was light.
Like you left your body,
yep,
and you could see your body.
Yep, on the table, and then lots of people rushed into the room, and I looked down, and my mum was there in the room, and I could see the light and the love coming from her to me. And I looked up and kind of over my shoulder, well, it felt like my shoulder, just up and over that way somewhere. And there was a light, and I could feel that same light and love was the same that was coming from my mum. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to stay because that was my choice. I just knew that I wanted to stay rather than go. And I've been listening to lots of other things recently, actually. The Sanity Machine, he's been really interesting about the soul trap and learning about that. So wondering if this You know, the suffering in this realm, is it a trap? There's a lot of questions now, you know, about different things. But I've had other
did it change your
experiences.
life in any way? Did you live your life any differently when you were 16 and you came back? Did you notice a change or anything?
Not really. I was already a bit different. Like at 7 years old, we were at my grandmother's house. We had it was nighttime, and it was quite, and I knew the house, so I just needed to go to the loo. So headed down the hallway, and there was a lady at the end of the hallway, and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm just going to the toilet." And I went into the loo and came back, and she was still there. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she came towards me, and I thought it was Nana. And so I wasn't scared, but she was beautiful, and she was really calm and serene. And then Nana came up behind me and said, "Are you coming to bed?" So it definitely wasn't my Nana in that house. It was a ghost.
Did your Nana see the ghost or have any other experiences with that ghost?
Yes. Yeah, she'd
The
felt
same
that.
one?
Yeah, she'd felt that same lady in the house as well. I lived in an older 1920s built building in Sydney that I was there just on my own, and you know, in my young teens. I didn't even have a washing machine, so I was washing my jeans in the bathtub one night before work so that they would dry overnight. And I felt this pressure on the bottom of my feet. And I was like, "What's that?" And it just like someone was touching me. I was like, "What the hell is that?" I looked around, there's no one there. But it felt like just someone, I got a feeling that someone was very just protective of me, like making sure I was all right more than anything else.
Do you think it was like a ghost with a foot fetish?
I think it was an old lady just saying, "Hey," because I felt other times that she was there as well. And
She was just kind of like,
my husband now, he felt her next to the bed one night, and I was like, "It's okay, she ain't watching nothing. She's just making sure that you're okay and making sure that
you sure she's not sneaking a peek?
Woo, I don't know. Who knows?
Where do you live? You have a crazy accent. It sounds great.
I'm in Brisbane.
Brisbane?
Yeah. Yeah.
What time is it? What time is it over there?
It's like 12:24.
Okay.
It sounds like 4:20 to me.
4:20.
It's definitely time for some medicine anyway. Listen, I'm going to let you go and have some more guests on. And
yeah, I have a couple more, and then the second hour I'll just do a free for all if you want to jump back in.
Yeah, well, I've got other stories as well, but yeah, look,
for sure.
Let other people have a go for sure. Enjoy.
All right, man. Thank you. That was Tranquil Vortex, everyone. Appreciate you calling in. I got Truther Cop waiting and Biz Wolfer. I'm gonna add on Truther Cop. Like I said, I kind of want to go to one-on-one to begin, just because otherwise it turns into like too many people talking at once. So we're gonna ride with Truther Cop here right now, coming straight from the past or the future. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the timelines, they get all mixed up, man. Mostly the future.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I got a UFO story from, around 2012.
All right, man, let's hear it.
I was out in LA and just walking down the boardwalk, and this guy all of a sudden stops me and he points out over the ocean. And there was like a cloud that was illuminated from the inside, moving up the beach, like in the air. It was huge. And we're both sitting there watching it together, which is the only reason I didn't think it was a hallucination. And then it just like folded into itself and dissipated away. It was like just a bright cloud, but it was towards the evening, and it was lit up from the inside, and it was I don't know how many people have a story like that one, but it was definitely there because we were both sitting there looking at it, and there was no way to explain it.
How long do you think that lasted? From what you saw?
It was 15 seconds. It wasn't like moving incredibly fast, but it was clearly separate from the other clouds and stuff.
And then that other dude saw it. Was that a dude that you knew or just some random stranger?
Just a random dude on the street stopped me and he's like, dude, look. And we were both looking at it. And then, it just moved. And then it was clearly lit up from the inside. It wasn't like a craft or anything, but it literally just looked like a cloud. But, why was there light coming from it?
What do you think it was if you had to guess?
I mean, the most logical thing, maybe some kind of a military cloaking device where they put a cloud around an airplane. I don't know. And then make it disappear. But I don't know why that would be lit from the inside then. I really don't know.
If you didn't want to be cloaked, it wouldn't probably be lit up.
Yeah, right. I mean, maybe something from, like a spiritual thing rather than aliens. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
what do you think happened to your boy Salvador?
I don't know, man. I think he made him nervous about his new project when he came on and talked to him, and he's like, oh, and he didn't know what to do. I haven't talked to him since. I don't know. Hopefully he'll come back and do the Kurt Cobain. That'd be a great thing. But
did you see the stream he did on the In a House with Tarot, the live streaming that he did?
Yeah, I was there when you came on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least some people saw it. I think he overthinks it. I don't know him, but
yeah, he was way overthinking, and I think because he has a lot of respect for you in that regard, and I think that your opinion weighed heavy on him.
He'll be back.
Yeah,
he's addicted. He seems like he has like one of those addictive personalities because he was just all in, man.
Yeah, he was, dude. He even said he was addicted to it. It's such a shame to just watch that, go by the wayside. Hopefully he'll come back with something.
Yeah, because that's a lot of work down the drain, man.
Yeah, for sure. He was making it happen too. Oh yeah,
for sure. It would have been all he needed to get to was that 1,000 subscribers, which that would definitely would have happened.
Yeah, he was moving.
Yeah.
Shoot. But hopefully I just wanted to jump. Yeah, I hope so. I just want to jump on and share that story.
All right, man. Well, second hour, if you want to come back, we'll do like a free for all panel.
All right, if I'm available, I will. That'd be great.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. Truth or Cop, everyone, go follow him on YouTube. He's converging the timelines, man. I got Biz Wolfer waiting. I'm gonna bring Biz Wolfer in next. If anyone else wants to, the pinned comment up top is all. You just click that, and it brings you to like a little like holding room or whatever, and then I can pull you guys in one at a time. We're half hour in. I'd like to do another half hour of these types of stories if we can. And then second hour, we can just shit show. Royal Rumble. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man? Hey, it's great to be with you, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. I must have missed the instructions about the story. I do have a story I can tell, though, so it's all good. Yeah, I will. Yeah, but first, I just want to say it's awesome to be with you because I've been watching your channel for a while. And I'm actually a Vikings fan too. I live up in I live up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So
tough game tonight.
Yeah, they suck, man. But I'm not. Can either of us say we're surprised though? You know what I mean?
Not at all.
No, not at all. That's right. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, man. But yeah. So I too have seen a UFO actually. So I guess I guess I'll just share that story too, because
sure.
This was in I want to say it was 2014, and it was definitely I think it was December of 2014. And I was outside on my back porch in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, just chilling out in my back porch. And I look up to the left, and there's what looks like an airplane. And keep in mind, like I've been going on my back porch before this happened a long time, and seeing lights in the sky that would like move funny and do weird stuff, weird maneuvers and stuff. And usually it would be like a blue light or a red light. and it just struck me as odd because to me it didn't look like an airplane. So one night I go out and I look, and it would have been I was looking north, so I was looking left on my deck, out my door, and I saw this, and it looked like these lights that were just hovering. They weren't moving in a steady straight line like an airplane normally does, and it wasn't too far away. It looked like it was probably about maybe 2.5 miles or so from me. Maybe if that. It wasn't very far away, but it was kind of near my neighborhood. But and I wasn't sure what it was, so I was just looking at it, and it was just it was steady. It was just staying in one spot in the sky. And anyway, I kept looking at it and looking at it, and I was thinking, like, in my mind, I was thinking, man, that thing does not look like an airplane, And again, because it wasn't the first time I seen this stuff. And by the way, I came to learn later, I should throw this fact in there too. I came to learn later that there's actually this Air Force Base facility in Sioux Falls. It's like on the northwest side. And a lot of it, from what I heard, somebody told me, there's a whole like underground portion of it that's built there. Like they use it for Air Force training. That's why you always hear like F-16s fly around and stuff around the city a lot, especially if you're in the center of the city. So, and I've also heard there's a whole like huge, like gigantic underground portion. Or when they built the facility, they did a whole like huge project underground part of it, and a lot of people weren't even allowed to like be filled in on what was happening there. And also, it should be noted, the Air Force is also very closely knit and connected to the CIA. But anyway, so I was on my back porch looking at this light, and it noticed that I was looking at it. Like it basically picked up on the fact that I was just staring at it, And it probably did that because it probably had a very, very heightened awareness of who was looking at it, And I was just staring at it like, what is this thing doing? And eventually it after, I would say it took a good while, like 3 or 4 minutes of me just looking at it. It eventually it started moving toward me in my direction. And as it moved closer and closer and closer, it eventually came so close, it was going to pass right overhead. And it was about, I want to say it was about like not even 1,000 feet up in the air. Right. So like, I don't know if it was like 400 feet up in the air, I would say like 200 to 400 feet up in the air. That's my best estimate. I'm not really good with exact numbers when it comes to like estimating the height, but it didn't seem like it was that high up above me. And eventually it flew right over my head. And it was just and it was crazy because like when I was a younger kid, I was like, I never thought I'd ever see a UFO in my lifetime, So this was just like crazy for me. It was just this silent black triangular craft that just like hovered, and it was totally silent. There was no sound whatsoever. And as it flew over my head and flew directly over me, I could see that there was like alternating rows of lights, and they were just red and blue alternating rows of lights, and it would just alternate. They would flash in sequence from the back of the triangular craft up toward the front. So like in a pattern, it would go from the back to the front, and then again from the back to the front, and it was red and blue rows of lights. And yeah, man, it was just insane because I never experienced anything like that. I still never experienced anything quite like that, at least not in that vivid detail and that like close up. And when it comes to UFOs, I have seen some things, but nothing like that since I had that experience. And yeah, it wasn't a very large craft. I would say it could definitely be like a drone craft or something like that. But I would guess that it's probably associated with the CIA or with the Air Force. Yeah, if I had to guess.
Let me ask you this: so when you say you were like looking at it and that it like noticed you looking at it, or whatever, how could you tell that it knew like you were observing it?
Well, it was just in one spot in the sky, right? like I was looking at my deck. I came out of my deck, so I came out on the deck through my door, and then I look left, and left is north. So I was just looking at it, and I don't know why. I always looked at the skies during this time period. I was just look at the skies for crazy stuff, you know. And I spotted this light because it was just hanging out in like the north. It was sort of northwestish, but more north than west for sure. More like pretty due north. And then when I was looking at it, you know, it just didn't look like an airplane to me. You know, that's why it caught my attention because you know when I look, it's just like this is the stuff that would catch my attention because normally there's a lot of planes that used to fly over in my area, like airplanes and stuff, a whole lot through the airport. The airport's on like the northwest side of town. And anyway, but airplanes move in a steady, constant motion, you know. And this thing was just it, and they also have regular blinking lights that blink regularly, blink, blink, blink. You know, this thing wasn't doing either of those things, you know. So that's why it really caught my attention, and I was staring at it for a long time. You know, it didn't notice. I don't think it noticed me at first, but after I stared at it for like, I don't know how long it was, but it was probably at least 2 minutes of me just staring at this thing for, you know, a good 2 minutes, just staring at it, you know, and staring at it pretty hard with a lot of intent. Like, I wonder what the hell, because what's going through my mind is like, I'm wondering what the hell this thing is, you know, that's what I'm wondering. And yeah, eventually it went from hovering there and to just slowly, ever so slowly, moving toward in my direction, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what.
Somewhat similar story, but my story was like I was sleeping.
Okay. Yeah.
For whatever reason, I just woke up, and I decided to look out the window for no reason at all. I just went out, woke up, middle of the night, looked out the window, and I saw this star. There was a star, or what looked like a star, I guess, and it was just slowly like moving, like almost like if you had something on like a pendulum or a string and you were kind of swinging it. It was just slowly kind of like barely moving, and I'm like, okay, am I tripping or am I asleep? And I like turned on the lights and I made sure I stayed up and I watched it for like 5 minutes, and it was just like it was on a string or something, and it kind of like was moving around dancing, but it didn't like take off or anything like that.
Dude, yeah,
I
know what you mean.
After that,
I've seen the craziest things with stars too. Like I've seen stars that were there and then I start looking at it. Yeah, I've seen stars that they've done crazy stuff, like crazy stuff. They don't act like stars, you know? And stuff that I know.
I've heard people say that too, like when they start observing the star, like it will do some crazy shit.
100%. 100%. And they just don't, you know, a star just it has a very constant it emits a constant amount of light, you know. And some of these so-called stars, when you start observing them, they don't behave that way, you know. They blink on and off. They do, you know, it might be very subtle, but you can notice it. You can notice it though. And I've seen a star that was there 1 minute, and then I started looking at it, and it just poof, it just disappeared like out of the sky, like it just blinked off and it was gone. You know, it was crazy. That was, and I've seen stars. Yeah, it is, and stars that move across the sky, all kinds of stuff, and I've seen these drone UFOs around the city normally in the summertime, and I have no idea what they are. You know, I have no idea.
You get the people in the chat, they're like, "Oh, space isn't real," but that doesn't mean it's from space. It just means it's an unidentified flying object. It just means
it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. You know, these are just.
Biz Wolfer, I'm gonna let you go, but if you want to call in on the second hour, we'll do like a free-for-all panel in the second hour in 20 more minutes, because I think awesome, Yurt's calling in here. I'm gonna see if I can get up with Yurt here real quick and figure out what happened.
Cool, man. Sounds great. Right, hey, thanks so much for having me on here. I love your channel and love your work.
Yeah, appreciate that. Hopefully you call back in. There's someone in the queue waiting here. It says, I think this is him. It says, in a trap house with packs. Yo, is this Yurt Cobain?
No.
Ah, it's AVT. What's up, fam?
What's happening?
What's good, bro? I thought it was Yurt, dude.
Yep, nope. Long time listener, first time caller.
What's good?
I would like to share a UFO story.
Please do.
Okay. So my one that I'd like to share, one of them that I'd like to share at least, is like around 2003, I think it was. It was like do you remember the Beltway sniper thing when there was the guys that were
they were like laying in the trunk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it was like around there, so it must have been like the end of 2022 or maybe 2023, as I just first moved up to Chicago, and I would be driving back home to Indianapolis on the weekend to see my girlfriend and parents and shit or whatever. So anyway, so I'm one weekend Friday night, it's late, I'm coming down 465. So Indianapolis has a interstate that goes around the whole city called I-465, right? So I coming down the pretty decent traffic. I'm coming down the south side of the loop of 465, and it's like 3-4 lanes right there. So like it's pretty. There's enough traffic there. There's enough people going down the road, and then all of a sudden, this like small red dot just starts to like manifest and like start to reflect off stuff. And I could tell that like all the other drivers around me were like seeing the same thing because they all started to react too. And the reason I mentioned the sniper thing is because
you guys thought it was the sniper.
We thought it was the sniper. We thought it was like a fucking red dot or something, right?
Right.
And then so gradually it like starts to coalesce, and then all of a sudden this like tractor trailer size giant red glowing dot orb thing, boom, just sits down right on the fucking highway, and all the lanes of traffic just come to a screeching stop like right in front of this thing. And we just sit there and look at it for like who knows what length of time it was. It's probably milliseconds, but it seemed like, a couple of minutes. And then all of a sudden, as fast as it just came, it just disappeared. And then like everybody was like, what the fuck? And then we just kept on going.
What did it look like? Just
light? like a light glow orb thing. Like it had no substance to it. I had no idea what it was when it happened. I actually ended up like reporting that one to MUFON, but and they never sent like a field investigator, but there was a case open on it, I believe, because a lot of other people that night actually reported the same thing of it happening. So that was one of the crazy ones, because it wasn't just me that saw it at the same time. It was a whole highway full of people.
B Smiley said it was ball lightning.
It was like ball lightning, but not like. I mean, because it was a clear weather day, and it was just, bam! It just came and sat right down there on the highway. But it was weird because it was illuminated, but like it wasn't like it was casting any kind of glow or anything like on its surrounding areas. Like the glow was like self-contained within whatever the thing was. It was insane. And then so I was just about home, and I got home and I got to my parents, and of course I'm trying to tell my parents about this shit I just saw on the highway, and of course they think I'm fucking stoned out of my mind or something.
Yeah, like, what drugs are you on?
And I just remember, like, as soon as I got back to the house and told them about it, like I was dead asleep. But yeah, next day, I think a couple days later, I think, because I went on and went on MUFON and filed a report saying that I saw some weird shit and everything. But that was my coolest UFO story, personally.
That's when they assigned me to be your handler, was when you did that.
Probably.
I was like 35 then.
It's a long game.
Right. What, you got any other UFO?
Well, the other, it's not like, it's kind of UFO, but it's not, but it's, well, I don't know what it is. But there was this incident, and you'd probably be able to look this one up pretty easily. I started an above, this was years ago, but I started like an above top secret thread on it years ago. But there was this alleged insurance scam thing that happened in south side of Indianapolis. where these people intentionally like left the gas main open on their house and then blew up their house so they could collect the money. But it went a little too far and it like blew up an entire fucking neighborhood and like killed people and everything. But this neighborhood was not very far from me. And I remember the day because we were outside in the driveway working on a truck or something. And multiple people with me, but then in the whole, like the immediate top, immediate eyewitness reports was that people saw and heard an object come out of the sky. Because I remember hearing it too. It almost sounded like a missile or like there was something that came from the sky and made a whole bunch of noise, and you could hear it being deployed and then the explosion. Because like you could feel the explosion was felt like for miles around the area. And then you could go and you could look. So as soon as we heard it, we got in the car and started going to drive towards the situation. And then almost immediately they had already had like this whole neighborhood like blocked off with like unmarked white vans and semi tractor trailers. And like, so there was this whole dispatch force there. So, like a lot of people were speculating. One thing was it's possible that because down south in Indiana, there's a bunch of training facilities for the military. One speculation was they accidentally fired like a Hellfire missile off of a drone by accident, and it hit into this residential neighborhood. Because when you look at the pictures of the incident, you can see where something came out of the sky and hit this house, and you can see like the explosion trail, like how all the other houses are affected by it. Or it was a satellite that fell out of orbit or something, and it landed in this neighborhood. Or it was just a drone that malfunctioned and landed on this house or whatever, or possibly like a meteorite or some shit. But they ended up selling the story like it was an insurance scam where these people just left the stove running or something and then set a timer so it would go off. But that one was pretty interesting. We spent the whole night trying to like get into that neighborhood. But you just like you couldn't get around that neighborhood. And then I remember I started an above top secret thread on that. This was back in the day, back in old school conspiracy stuff. But
what year would you say that was about?
Let me see. I can probably look that up real quick.
Yeah, above top secret used to be lit, dude. They had all the crazy conspiracies on that forum, man.
But it was just crazy knowing that I heard it too. That day it was one of those like. Everybody's like, what the fuck just was that? Like you could like you would hear a missile or something, it was insane. So green.
Was it like a black neighborhood?
No, it was a white neighborhood.
Oh. I thought it was gonna be some racist thing or something.
Oh no.
They took out Whitey.
I think it must have been. It was like 2009, maybe. I think it was maybe. Yeah, here it is. It's called the Richmond Hill explosion. Took place on November 10th, 2012. There's actually a Wikipedia page for it now.
What is it called? I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
Richmond Hill explosion. November 10th, 2012.
Oh yeah, I see it. Let me look at these pictures of it here.
Yeah, and then so they got felony murder for it and everything.
The perps are the people that tell you are the perps.
Yeah. Well, and then there was there's all kinds of weird things connected with these people as well. Like it was a really strange case once a lot of it came to light, but I still say that something landed on that damn house. If you look at the blast pictures and stuff, to me, it looks like something came in there and exploded. I don't know. That's what
I'm going to look it up on the stream here. Oh yeah, here we go. There's pictures and everything, man.
Yeah.
This StreamYard thing's pretty tight, to be honest.
Yeah, I just couldn't get the audio to play, but I guess you just have to be in Chrome and you have to open everything in Chrome.
You weren't in Chrome when you did it?
No, I was
I've
running
never
it
done
out.
it before tonight. It didn't take me long to like set it up or anything. It was pretty easy.
Oh, it's super easy to set up. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. There's like an epicenter.
Yeah, so then I had like it was a pretty good ATS thread on that because a lot of people were instantly speculating on it because everybody that was eyewitnesses was saying that something came out of the sky. And that's what I confirmed as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a white neighborhood.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at this thing. Crazy. And then so they just kind of swept that under the rug.
Oh yeah, they swept it under the rug. It was not a story pretty quickly afterwards, but almost immediately. Like I said, I probably live like 2 or 3 miles away from that, and we heard it then, and we could pretty much just pinpoint based on sirens and stuff like which way to go. So we went straight that way to go see what the hell happened. And like I said, they had that whole neighborhood locked down like almost instantly during the scene. And then throughout the whole night, it was a very weird scene the whole night because some people they weren't letting anybody come in to the neighborhood. Obviously, even people that were like, that live there and stuff. So.
This lady's got a crazy name that the lady they said that did it. Montserrat Shirley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be real interesting to go back now, knowing some of
that shit,
knowing some of the little truther hacks that we know now, or hoax codes. Going back and look, they were really connected with a whole bunch of other shit going on in Indianapolis as well. They owned like this big storage unit facility, and there was some shady dealings with that, and there's all kinds of weird connections with
that's just such a weird name. Montserrat Shirley. I've never heard that name ever. That's you got to run that shit through the anagrams.
Oh, that looks like a definite anagram.
I'm pulling it in the anagrams. Real quick. Well, damn, we made it an hour.
Okay, well, I gotta check with the kids real quick. I'm gonna hop off here, and I might hop back on here on the second half if people show up.
All right, man. We're gonna try to make it full shit show.
Oh, I'm down for a shit show. So, yeah, those are my 2 UFO stories for the night. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. It's taking forever for this anagram. Thanks for listening. Bye. Well, I guess we made it a whole hour. That was pretty good. Lots of good stories. Thanks to everyone that called in. Now, if we want to go into the second hour, we're a little bit early, but we can do it. Anybody that wants to call in, we'll just do like a free-for-all panel. We can just talk about whatever, really. Yeah, this anagram thing, it does not want to go. It's just like loading. David.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Let's see if stream crashes.
Well, we do got an echo. It's not a David Crackle call unless there's a technical issue.
I got you muted.
Big echo.
Echo.
Hey. Yeah, well, you can hear me. Like in the delay.
Huh. Gotta love it. All right.
When are we going to go live and do that curse stream?
Well, if I'm echoing, I don't want to
Mute the YouTube.
No, it's off. I don't even have it open. Always something. They don't want us together. But I don't want to annoy the chat though, so I'll just bounce.
All right, man. I've come to the conclusion that Davy Crocco's technical gremlins, it's like a character on the show, like Jamie from Rogan. It's just a character that you have to deal with. Oh, Jessica said, tell us your story. I don't really have much. If I had to, this anagram thing won't go. I'll just turn it off. The one story I have that I think is pretty weird is when I was like a teenager, some kids broke in and stole my baseball cards, because everyone used to collect baseball cards back then, basketball cards and all that. And these kids stole my cards, and later they got caught because they were trying to sell them to the card shop and stuff. Like, we called around and told the card shops. I had like tons of David Robinson collection, so that was like the tip off that was the collection if they were trying to sell it. So anyway, so then I'm like, I don't know, maybe it was before I was driving. Maybe I'm like 13-ish or something. I don't know. And I go outside after, it's after that happened. It's a few days later or something. I don't really remember exactly. And I just have a tennis ball. Oh, can you guys hear the baby? I hear the baby crying. I have a tennis ball, and I'm just outside. I'm bored. I'm outside this apartment that I lived in, and I'm just throwing the tennis ball on the ground. It's going straight up. I'm catching it, and I'm just fucking around. I don't know if I was waiting for a friend. I don't really remember. It's been so long. And I'm just doing that, like messing around, and I do one, and I throw the ball down, and it just shoots off to my right. It just goes pew, like insane, right? Because they're all going straight up, and I'm, totally crazy. And it not only does it shoot to my right, it goes like and continues to roll like forever, like a movie or something. Like it keeps going and going and going. And then there's these garages. And it goes behind the garage, there's a little area like a garage and a fence, but there's a small, almost, it's not an alley, but just a small, you could walk through there and stuff, a small little walkway or whatever behind the garages, the apartment garages, where there's maybe like 10 garages or something. And this ball just shoots towards there, bounce, and just keeps rolling like almost halfway behind these garages. And so I'm going after the ball, and I go after the ball, and I can see like the ball's maybe halfway down this garage, little trail path thing, whatever. And like 3/4 of the way down, there's like something there. There's like a bag, and like you can see some stuff there that shouldn't be there. Yeah, and the cards were there. Someone called it. So I go and I look over there, and it's my baseball cards, right? It's like the binders, you keep them in a binder, and then they're like stacked up. So it was like I don't remember, like 2 binders or something of cards, but like all the good ones were like gone, but all the like ones that weren't as good are still in the binder, and they're back there. And so I've always thought about that, and it's like somehow like my energy like could, I don't know, like did I throw that ball down because I could sense that the energy of my cards was back there, or something like that. I mean, there's really no way to describe it, because even like I remember it being so weird that it just went so far to the right. That was weird to begin with, and then it rolled extra, right? So it was like it was almost meant to like find those cards or whatever. And they did catch those kids that did it and stuff, and those kids got in trouble and stuff. And I think I got the vast majority of my cards back, but I didn't get all of them back. That's back when that was like every kid did that back in my day. And so, yeah, I've thought about that one a lot, like what could have caused that, and I have no idea. It's just super, that to me is almost like a supernatural type thing. And I'm trying to think if I have any other. I told the one where the star was kind of moving. I don't really have any other good ones. My family has a story that, I mean, take it for what it's worth. I wasn't there. That when my grandfather died, my mom had 12 brothers and sisters, so she was one of 13. And then all those kids had multiple kids, right? So there's this huge family in Texas, but I don't know too many of them because my mom moved up to Minnesota when I was young. But anyway, so when my grandfather passed away down there, and they're all pretty poor, they're down there in Dallas, Fort Worth, and the grandfather passed away, and it was like right after that happened, like the water pipe broke or something like that in grandma's house. Some repair needed to be made, and they didn't have much money. And then apparently, like, this plumber showed up and said, "Hey, I'm here to fix the pipe." And since there's so many different brothers and sisters, like, everyone thought everyone else called the plumber, and the plumber, like, I guess fixed the thing real quick and just bounced out. And like, they all claim they didn't pay him, and they all claim no one called him or anything like that. And so they all are convinced that I was like my grandfather coming back to fix that somehow or something. So I don't know. It could have, maybe one of them just secretly called and didn't want the other ones to know or something. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know that side of the family that well. I'm trying to think, man, if I got any other stories. The only other one I have, I know I've told a few times, is when I was driving home once in the middle of the night, and this, like, came up to this. It was like a dark highway. There's no one around, and I came up to this. It's like almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like there's this weird energy in there, and like felt like almost like time slowed down or something. It was like really like dusty or something. And then so I'm driving north, and I come up, and then there's just this, like, out of nowhere, there's like this semi, but it's stopped, and it's like so it's like a 2-lane highway, and the semi is like in the left lane, kind of even on the shoulder, but it's facing south, and there's like a divided highway. So he was off on my side of the highway, but not moving at all. And it was stopped, and so I'm like slowing down, and I drive by him really slow because I'm like, what the fuck, right? I'm sure I was high as hell at that time. And I drive by him real slow, and then as I get to the back of the truck, that right at that, after the truck's standing up, and then there's a cow just sitting there standing up, like completely covered in blood, like a horror movie or something. And he's looking right at me right when I go by. He's like, his eyes looking right at me, and I'm driving by real slow, and I'm like, and then as I get past that, there's cars on both sides of the road, like diagonally. So it's a northbound highway only. And there's cars on each side of the road, like diagonally. When you're in like a downtown of an old town, how they park diagonally, they're all like that. And I just kept going north. And maybe for like 10 to 15 minutes as I kept going north, there was continuously like police and medical vehicles, fire engines and stuff coming south from all these other towns, like small towns. And it took me a long time to think of like what happened. I know I was probably high, but I didn't understand what happened. And I tried to look it up on the internet that night or in the next like few nights, and I couldn't find any information of it. And the only thing I can think that happened, which probably doesn't make it supernatural, but it felt like it at the time, I think maybe it was like a truck hauling cows, right? And it was going southbound, and maybe it rolled or something, it flipped and came into the other lane, and I was there just after it happened. He came to a stop, maybe the back door of the truck opened and the cow fell out or something, I don't know, and that's why all those cars were pulled over. Maybe they were like getting out of the way when it happened or something. That's the only thing I can think, but it just felt like I dodged that, like that was, I could have been directly involved with whatever that was. And just that cow looking at me was like, it was like haunting me. But that's the only, looking back at it, and I don't think it is supernatural, but it just felt like it was like supposed to, or that I was fortunate. Davey, call back. I was just clicking to bring you in, Davey. I felt like I was supposed to be like, get the brunt of that, which I guess I wasn't supposed to get it if it didn't happen. Call back in, Davey. I was like literally clicking the button and he just clicked right out. Not for you too says, I talked to Terrence McKenna on the Art Bell show about finding a dream in a geometry book, and what he said described how I won 37 games in a row on half-point parlay cards. I'm gonna add Smiley here. What's up, Smiley?
Yo, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good?
I'm not echoing or anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Because I hear an echo on my hand, but I don't know where the hell it's coming from.
Yeah, here it's not.
Okay, here, let me try turning the YouTube off. My bad, brother. Let me see if I could get this done. All right, I think I got it. So go ahead and finish yours, man. I don't want to interrupt yours.
Oh, I'm done.
Well, man, I kind of like these kind of topics, but I don't like talk about them with too many people, because a lot of people don't experience these kind of things, like some people seems like they go their whole life and they never have any weird thing happen to them. It's just, I don't understand it. I've had a lot of weird shit happen.
Like what? You got something?
So one good one that always got stuck with me is when I was in middle school. I had this girl, I had started at this new school, and this girl was also new, and she was in my class. She was this pretty cute chick. She was like a light complected kind of mixed girl. And I had a dream about her. For some reason, I had a dream about her where we were like sitting in the lunchroom, and she had Egyptian eye makeup on. It was like she came in looking like an Egyptian. Then when Halloween, I never told anybody that. I never told her that. I never told her that shit. And when Halloween came around, she came to fucking school in an Egyptian costume with that eye makeup on, like stuff like that. I've had a lot of weird stuff like that happen.
Yeah, that's crazy. How long before, like, the time difference would you, if you had to guess, before you had that dream and until she came in for Halloween?
It was a couple months, because we would go back to school and sometime in August or something like that. September, yeah. It's probably a couple months. I have another one where it's like a mother's intuition. Me and my friends, man, we used to party, get fucked up and drink, and it was one of my friends' birthdays or whatever, and we were getting so faded. We were drinking all that cheap, the worst shit. But at some point, a couple of them wanted to go to 7-Eleven, which was like right down the alley, and they just walked down the alley and go. And I stood behind with my other friend, and they went, and one of my friends ended up fucking with some meth head or something, and he pulled out a knife and stabbed. He got 3 of them. 2 of them got hit in the lungs, and the other one just got sliced up on the arm. And as that was happening, as one of the friends came running into the house and telling us what had just happened, my mom called me. And this was probably midnight, or between midnight and 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. She never calls me that late. She's asleep by that time, but she ended up calling me in a panic. She was like, "What's wrong?" She says, "I just woke up and I have feeling something's wrong." And I told her what happened. Like, how the fuck does she know? Like, how the fuck does she sense that?
Yeah, that's wild.
She woke up out of her sleep in a panic, and she felt something was wrong, and she had called me, man. That's some crazy shit. I'll never forget that.
Damn. Was there a reason you didn't go with that you remember?
Nah, sometimes we almost did too. I kind of wish I would have, because I probably would have been able to prevent that fucking with that hobo because they're fucking. My friends are kind of retarded, but I don't know why. We just stood behind and we just kept freestyling and drinking a little bit. They were just going to get some blunt sticks or whatever and some drinks. Yeah, and that shit just happened really quick.
And I did get those beats you sent me. Like I said, I wanna mess with them when I bring them in Ableton and kind of listen to them for the first time and kind of see if I can mess with them at all.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm still trying to get back into this shit. My music computer crashed. I don't have a music computer anymore, so now I have to work on getting a new computer. So,
what program do you use?
Oh, I use FL Studio, man, but I'm still stuck in the Stone Age. I'm using the old version of it.
Like version 6 or something?
10, version 10. That's
they're like past 20, aren't they?
Oh, yep. Something like that. I'd probably have
to use whatever you're like comfortable with.
I'd probably have to relearn the whole program again if I get the new version of it.
Right. All right, bro. I got Davey waiting. Let me get through. I got 3 other people waiting, and then we'll like dive in if you want to call back in on like free for all.
For sure. That sounds good, man.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. Peace out. Be smiley, everyone. We got Davey Crockle. What's up? Did you fix the echo?
They said it was on your end.
Well, it didn't happen for any other caller until you called.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was me echoing, but I could hear me like through your speakers or something, but I don't hear it now.
All right, we good then?
All right, you got a crazy story?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's go.
All right.
We got to cam up for this one. It's that serious.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. Now, PhD, what does that stand for?
Pretty huge dick.
Alley-oop.
You know.
Yeah, it sounds good now. Can you use Streamlabs for us to do our stream?
StreamYard?
Yeah, whatever the hell. Yeah, StreamYard.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, we'll try it.
Yeah. I did a test with someone, and I actually DM'd you, I think the other night, because I know you had tried to stream and something fucked up on your stream. So
yeah,
I was like, this guy...
okay, what I did is I fucked up my whole OBS like scenes. I like deleted them all and I rebuilt them all, so then it was all fucked up. And I think I have it straight now, but I'll find out in a day or two.
Yeah. So this was my 21st birthday. And
so a long time ago.
long time ago. And I was gonna have this party at this place I was working. They had like an upstairs deck, and I invited a bunch of people. And another friend of mine, it was his birthday around the same time, and I invited him. And so like a few days before, I was sleeping at my buddy's house, and it was just like a recliner chair. You know, you're 21. I was just like sleeping in this recliner chair. And I wake up, it's like 3 a.m. It's completely dark in the room. But when I wake up, inside, like, from my view, I'm inside of a vehicle. But I'm not dreaming. I know I'm fully awake at this point. Like, I'm looking around, I can see who's next to me. And I see my buddy that also has the same birthday as me. And a couple kids in the back. I recognize everybody. But they're not really engaging with me, but they're all talking. They're all, you know, like, he's driving, he's drunk, he's speeding, all this stuff. So, it's very weird that I'm in this car and I can't, like, I'm trying to make it stop. I'm like, fucking, if this is a dream, just like, let's end this. Like, you know, I was just stuck in this chair for this ride. And it goes on and on and on and on. And it eventually ends with just like, he's like approaching something, and then it just stops, everything clears up, and it's just back to darkness. So it's 2 days later, it's the night of my birthday party, and he's supposed to be coming to it, and he ends up on his way to my party, driving drunk, goes over a median, crashes, dies, And the weirdest part about it was the street he died on was the street I grew up on. So it was just like this weird premonition.
So he died on his way to your party?
Yeah.
Damn. That's wild.
So like the car ride I was in was the ride he was in on the way to the party.
And he was driving drunk, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely some.
I
premonition.
never had anything like that happen before. Never had anything like that happen after. It was absolutely insane.
Tapped into like the future or something. Maybe because you grew up on that street or something. Like I said with my baseball cards, like somehow my energy was like attached to those. Maybe your energy on that street you grew up with or something was still there.
Well, what I think he tried to do, the way it was set up, the highway he would have been on, it's very close to just like a rural road that he wanted to get on. So he just tried to cross over, in a drunk, stupid move, and killed himself. But yeah, and then I got the news at the party that just happened. So then I go over there, and it's just like freaking me out.
So you just walked down there?
I'm seeing I went down to go see and just make sure, and it was the same exact type of car that I was in. And some people say it was a dream state. I was awake, like I was fully aware of what was going on. Like it wasn't a dream. Even if it was a dream, it's still a premonition of some sort.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace to your friend.
Yeah, Anthony. He was a good dude, but I mean, he was pretty sauced up.
I mean, we've probably all been there. I know I've been drunk, way drunker than I should have in the past.
Yeah, nowadays it's like super easy. Like Uber's quick.
Yeah, now you got Uber and all this shit. They didn't have that shit when we were doing that.
Not many
one time I don't even remember driving home, and I woke up and I lived in this apartment and my car was just parked all sideways across like 4 spots, and I'm like, I mean, it's kind of funny, but I could have killed a family or something. You know what I mean? Like that's fucked up.
Yeah, I drove into like a wooded area once. Like there's this windy road near where I am, and I just like completely fucking just went right into the woods down to this thing. Luckily, no cops were around. Ended up getting out of the situation, but yeah, no DWI on my record.
Okay. Well, bro, you
what
want
else?
You want to hang out for a shit show?
Yeah, I'll hang out, dude.
I'm gonna there's a couple people in here. I'm gonna bring them all in now.
Who do you got?
You got Tranquil Vortex is back again. Good to see you.
What's up?
And then Know Thy Enemy. What's going on, Know Thy Enemy?
What's up?
Did you have you're on. Did you have like a crazy story you wanted to tell real quick?
Yeah. So it was around January of 2000. I was with my daughter's mother, who wasn't my daughter's mother yet, and my buddy who I've known since high school, and another chick, and we were driving to Providence. I live in Southern Mass, in a city called Taunton. I grew up there, and we were driving to Providence around, and we were actually going to an after-hours club that opened at 3 a.m. And we get to in between I live like 10 miles from Providence in Massachusetts, though. Where we got there's a road, Route 44. It's like 10 miles, but it's very rural considering the county I live in is mostly, I'd say it's mostly little small cities, but there is some rural area. So we're going through this town called Rehoboth, and all of a sudden, I got my high beams on. I'm doing like 50 miles an hour, but I can see clearly straight down the road. And there's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on in this area. It's like a lot of like ghost lore and history from the King Philip Wars with the Indians, Native Americans, or whatever. All of a sudden, we pull up and this thing was going down into a trench. This big, I thought it was a dude, like a hitchhiker. Now, mind you, it was the coldest weather we had ever felt. It was like state of emergency. I think it was like 5 degrees out. The wind chill was 20 below. It was like Canadian weather. This thing just going down the trench. It's all power lines and like a kind of a swamp area, and it looked like it was trying to dig into the thistles. Um, and it turned around, and it was at least 7 feet tall. Now its face was black, and it was standing bipedal on both feet. And it spun around, and it was the widest thing I'd ever seen in my life, like just fucking huge. And when it looked at us, it gave us a look like like angry almost, like what, like how dare you? You know what I mean? All
Was
of a sudden,
it Brittany Griner?
yeah, so maybe this thing was less masculine than Brittany Griner. But anyways, the thing spun around, and I had the music bumping. I turned the music down. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Did you guys just seen that? Everybody's like, dude, what the fuck? And my buddy was like, it was Bigfoot. It was Bigfoot. And I'm like, nah, I don't think it was Bigfoot. Because I didn't come to the conclusion that it being Sasquatch till about 2 years ago. I always just thought it was something more like supernatural, like ghost or something. But the thing, a couple years ago, somebody told me that there had been Bigfoot sightings in Bristol and Plymouth County, where I go, the southern Mass, the area I live in. And like, oh yeah, the counties aren't big like they are everywhere else in the country. The state's so small, so the counties are kind of small. And so some chick told me, "Oh, look into it," because I told her my story, and I'm like, I don't know. So I started looking into. I fell down the Bigfoot rabbit hole. Every fucking eyewitness account that I heard was like identical to what I seen. It reminded me of the Patterson Gimli film when the Bigfoot spun around. It did the same thing. It didn't turn its neck; it turned its shoulders. And like I said, its fucking shoulders were like. It seemed like they were like 4 feet across. The biggest human being I ever seen up close was Willie McGinnis, former DN for the Patriots. It made Willie McGinnis look like a midget. That's how big this fucking thing was. But
Damn.
yeah, over the last couple years, that's when I decided that it was Bigfoot, because I especially like there's so many eyewitness accounts. I don't know how people say it ain't real, but there's so many eyewitness accounts that dating back to the colonists, dating back to the Native American tribes. There's something going on, whether it's a primate or some other subspecies of human. I don't know what it is. But like, a lot of people say, well, we've never found a body. And I'm like, dude, if you just drive up to the Maine, the state of Maine, there's so much woods. There's something could live up there that no human being could ever see. You know what I mean? But this was just weird being where
there's
this
got to
is.
be something to it, because like you said, the lore goes back so far. There's got to be. I'm a like a where there's smoke, there's fire type guy. So even if like 1% of all those stories are true, there's got to be something to it.
Right. And yeah. So over the last couple of years, I've just pretty much what I've seen was Bigfoot. And I mean, where we were in the town of Rehoboth, it's really rural. There's only like 6,000 people that live there. It's really big area wise. But there's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on. There's some, if you can Google this, it's called the Bridgewater Triangle. And it's a part of southern Massachusetts. It's Bristol County. And there's a lot of weird shit that goes on. Like there's the Freetown State Forest, where they had the satanic cult from Fall River, Mass. If you ever want to watch a good documentary, it's called Fall River. I think it's on YouTube now. And it's about the satanic cult in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. That was in Fall River, and about these pimps. They were pimping these girls out, these runaways, and they were doing satanic rituals. And they murdered a couple girls. And you got to see the documentary. It's just a fucking twisted documentary.
What is it called?
It's called Fall River. It's named after the city. You know where Lizzie Borden's from?
Okay. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Now, you don't have a camera? Are you necro?
No, I'm on my iPhone. My screen, my lens is cracked.
You're not the rapper Necro though, are you?
No.
Okay.
Negro? You mean negro?
Negro?
like the N-word in Spanish?
No. There's a dude named Necro. like
From
Necronomicon
Massachusetts.
or something like. But I don't know. He's from the wherever you're from, or I think he's from New York or something. You guys all sound the same to me.
Kinda. We pronounce, we say our R's a little different than
I'm
like
sure
people
you
from
guys
like.
sound different. I'm sure to you can tell the difference between all the little
Absolutely.
sub-areas.
Yeah,
But to
I
me,
can spot. I'm actually pretty good. I can spot accents pretty good, not just like New York, but like I can spot a Philly accent, you know.
yeah.
But anyways,
Look up
yeah, yeah,
Necro. Look up Necro, Necro, and then his brother is Ill Bill. Ill Bill is dope.
yeah. I know Ill Bill. They're from New York. They're from Long Island.
Yeah. That's who you sound. To me, you sound like Necro.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. Well, they say it's kind of different. They say like they'll say car, we say car. You know what I mean? They say
Right.
car. I'll give my car. You know, we say car. I'll give my car. It's a little different, but I don't notice it obviously because I grew up here my entire life. So, but anyways, that's my story. But I'd also look up the Bridgewater Triangle. If you want to look into some weird shit, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. Some of them are gay as fuck. They're just some fucking fat dudes, like total. Incels just making in the woods and shit. But there's a forest called the Freestyle State Forest where there's all types of weird shit. And I've been in there. We used to ride mountain bikes and dirt bikes in there. It's creepy in that place. It's really fucking creepy in that place.
Did you go down the missing 411 rabbit holes then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he puts out good. I like David Place. He puts out good content.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean, because like a lot of his shit nobody even knew about. Like that guy, I understand. Like people get mad that he copyrights his shit, but I'm like, that guy's doing fucking work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that too. I get both sides of it. It's like there was a channel called Death by Meme, and it would play a lot of his Pilates stories, and it would like clip out all the bullshit, and it was like a nice tight edit. And yeah, Pilates like took it down. That was a great channel.
Well, you know, with him is I think he doesn't mind if you let him know ahead of time what you're gonna do. Because I see other people share his content. I think it's just the people that thieve his stuff and don't give him any credit. That's when he hits him with a copyright. Because there's that dude, Mr. Ballin. That guy shares a lot of his content. There's fuck's that other Swamp Dweller. That guy tells a lot of the missing 411 stories. So. He definitely lets people share his shit. I just think you may have to get permission, or he's obviously getting paid too through the viewership. You know what I mean? Yeah, so Pilates ain't stupid. He's gonna make some money either way. You know what I mean?
I seen his latest one. He just put a documentary out, Missing 411, the UFO connection.
Yeah, I watched it. It was good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I liked it.
I'm not a big UFO guy.
I seen a UFO too, but that was broad daylight. It was like 7:30 in the morning. I was going to work. It wasn't. Most people see a UFO, they get all like fucked up by it. It didn't really dawn on me what I seen. It was so far away, but didn't freak me out in any way. I mean, if it was nighttime, it probably would have freaked me out a little, but it's broad daylight.
Davey, when you're typing, it's like so loud. I don't know if the chat can hear it in my headphones. It's so loud when you type. That's why I had you muted for a second when you were typing.
Oh, good.
I don't know why. Is your mic like right next to your hands or something?
I was just engaging. I don't need to be typing that much.
Go ahead.
Yo, Drew, can I ask you something? Now, what do you call it? Quantum Matt, right? Like,
Quantum
do you really
Matt.
think he's a shill, or he's just a weird dude? Weird shit?
Oh man, you want to go down this one?
I think he's a Bigfoot.
No, because like I know, like listen, I know like he has this weird background. That whole fucking CIA guy and the fucking what's the other shit he did? He the working in that industry, like insurance or kidnapping or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. At this point, though, I'd rather have that dude being a shill than Archaics. Damn.
Well, yeah, because Matt's not a rapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
and his shit's not as far out there as Jason's shit is.
No,
just
he has a lot of good theories, but. Do you remember the one theory he had about the fucking? It was the stupidest shit ever. The fucking.
I know what you're gonna
Hard
say.
Rock Casino in New Orleans.
Oh no!
And he said that. So there was the Hard Rock Casino in New Orleans. It was like 5 years ago. They had an accident, a construction accident, and fucking like 3 people got killed or something. But one of them, they had like a beaner fucking worker, immigrant worker, and he was you could see his body. He was trapped under like rubble, and it was like 2 months later, and they still hadn't got his body out. And their excuse was the integrity of the building. They couldn't do it. And because it was wintertime, it was kind of cold. I don't know. Like his body wasn't like becoming rigor mortis, but this was like 10 stories up anyhow, whatever. And Matt's theory was like, this ain't real. None of this is real. And I kept thinking to myself, of course it's fucking real. Like, I grew up south of Boston. There's always construction accidents all the time. Cranes getting knocked over, window washer guys hanging, almost getting killed. You know what I mean? Or dying. Like, I couldn't understand what his point was. It was like the dumbest shit ever. But I always wondered, like, I don't know if he's a shill, like a government shill. I just think he's a goofy dude that's into cats. Kind of. So.
It could be, but like I've come to say lately is maybe like it was hard to see kind of what his angle was. Maybe the angle is just to kind of soften people up to any and everything's on the table, and then they can take it.
True, yeah.
Then bring.
He doesn't have a big.
Like, archaics is the next thing where everything's on the table. Where Matt kind of prepared people for that. Whether he
he kind of misleads people. You're saying.
Yeah, maybe he's just the whole conspiracy thing to me right now seems to be like reality's not real. You're in some kind of weird simulation or like a subjective reality.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think he's just got some weird theories. He's kind of funny at times. Like I don't really watch his videos anymore because he seems a little redundant. Well, he is definitely a little redundant. But the one about the Peter Stoyers was pretty fucking hilarious. The one he did a few years ago.
He's got some good catchphrases and stuff. He needs to just switch it up, man. If you ever watch it, just switch it up. Start live streaming or start doing like podcasts with he's got a lot of respect from a lot of these other people would love to like collaborate and do podcasts with. I think that would really like push his channel to the next level past.
I don't think he could do live podcasts. He's too awkward.
Yeah,
dude,
get
him and Yurt together. That's a fucking combo. Hobo codes.
Yurt. I don't know what happened to that dude, man.
Fucking rest in peace, dude.
He didn't have the heart for the YouTube, for the trolls. The trolls are nothing, right, Davey? They're nothing.
Dude, every day.
You just go.
It's all day, every day. I deal with a couple of these weirdos. I got 4 years ago, they're still coming out of the woodwork. Obsessions, what can you do?
I only had a small following on my Instagram. They just actually had 3,000 followers. But I took a 3-year hiatus from 2016 to 2019, and I almost had 5,000 followers, and IG act like 1,800 followers. I had deleted my app. I just didn't fuck with it because I got sick of the trolls. The worst trolls are like Zionist IDF soldiers, whatever that Unit 8200, whatever the fuck they are. Those motherfuckers were taking pictures of my kids and photoshopping cocks and then dropping that shit in my DMs. Fuck, because I was like, pro-Palestinian or whatever, doing pro-Palestinian memes or whatever. And then the Hebrew Israelites, those guys suck too, man.
That's fucked up when they bring other people involved in it besides you. Like they'll talk about your wife or your family or something. That's like ridiculous.
Yeah. I would never fucking go to because my page, like, I put a lot of memes, but I also put pictures of me and my kids, whatever. But like, I would never take somebody's, if I didn't like that fucking their opinion or whatever, I would never take pictures of their kids and fucking Photoshop fucking black mamba cocks in their mouths. You know what I mean? It's just
that's fucked up.
But then I think like I've wasted so much of their energy too. You know what I mean? It's kind of a pro and con there, I guess, but still. And the trans trolls, they're weak as fuck, but they roll deep. I think that's why my channel got axed.
Oh, because the reversos came at you?
Because the way I would do memes and then I would write about it, I talk in parody. So the algorithm doesn't understand what the fuck I'm saying. They think I'm pro-trans. You know what I mean? But like, so what happened was when I first came back, it changed. In 3 years, Instagram changed. I got put in a pigeonhole. You couldn't find my channel unless you put no_thy_enemy. You'd have to put it all in. Sure, you know all about that. Most you guys. But anyways, like I had a small little following. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I hashtag disassociate identity disorder, and I actually talked real shit. I was like, this is bullshit. These people have split personalities. All of a sudden, one would come on and say, "You're transphobic." So at first, I'm like trying to take him on. I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about? That word was just made up like 2 years ago." And I'd be like, I'm not in fear of trans or whatever. Anyways, so they just they start tagging all these weird channels like these DIDs, these did channels in the cave system. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they come deep, and all of a sudden they'd be like, I'm gonna tag you. I'm telling. And I'm like, I just stopped blocking them, blocking them, blocking them. If one person tagged 10 people, I'd block every single one of them. So I knew not to use those hashtags anymore if I didn't want to keep my channel. I think what ended up happening was though, they're getting smarter and they know they can't just tell you, they're gonna tell on you. So I think they do a lot of clandestine shit. Because I caught one like a year ago, and she was being real sneaky, and she started tagging a bunch of people on a bunch of my memes like really quickly, and I'm like, she's been watching me, and I started blocking them. So I think what happened this time around November, one of them must have found my page, say, hey, secretly report this page, because I don't know how I got
they like mass report it, right, or something. They probably have
Yeah.
like little like discords or something. They like all share little things to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I would agree. That's exactly how they but they didn't usually they would just tag their friends, and as soon as I see mass taggings, I'm blocking. I wouldn't even give them a chance to even look at it. But this time around, they got me and they fucking axed my channel, and I'm just like, you can't even build on that platform anymore.
You got a YouTube?
I got my YouTube, but I don't put content up. I'm more of just use it to watch videos. I've had the same channel. I have my new well, it's an old one, it's a backup one, but I have no_thy_enemy 2.0. But it's like finding all my followers, because I didn't even really care. It's only 3,000 followers, but I had a lot of good followers from like all over the world, like people I've been dealing, because I started that in 2012, 2 years after I fell down the conspiracy rabbit holes, the 9/11 and all that. And so a lot of these people I've been dealing with for fucking 10 years, you know what I mean? Like, made really good friends with some of these people, but a lot of them I just lost. I don't remember most of the usernames and shit, I'm gonna ask a couple people I'm friends with that got big channels to shout me out, but I just haven't had a chance to do it yet.
Get some shit out, and then we'll shout you out, man.
Yeah, you don't put many memes up anymore
on IG.
Yeah,
I don't even log into IG anymore. It's like, to me, there's nothing on there anymore. It seems like it's dead.
Yeah, I like IG because I like pictures, so I like IG. Anyways, I don't want to hold up your thing.
Bring it back. It's all good.
But yeah, I don't want to hold up your stream, whatever. But anyways, yeah, thanks for taking me on, and yeah, good stuff, my dude.
All right, my man. Peace.
Yeah, later.
Know thy
cool, man.
Yo, have you heard of these? Yesterday, I got home from work and I saw this clip. Have you ever heard of these things called baby boxes?
I saw the stream or you put a clip of it. I saw that.
Dude, that's fucking bizarre shit.
So it's here in Jacksonville where I'm at. They put like this box at a
hospital or a firehouse.
It's a fire station.
Yeah.
And then you can put the baby in the box and thus like anonymously give up the baby. And then it like
dude, I heard them talking about that on I was listening to NPR and they were talking about that, like a baby box. And it was in like Namibia, or is it Namibia? It's like an African country they were doing that.
Oh, they were doing that there? Yeah. They're doing it in Jacksonville here where I'm at too.
And, no way.
That's someone crazy. Just did it, and they said this was the first time someone did it. And then so there's this lady behind it, and she says these boxes cost $10,000 each. And now that this was used successfully, she wanted to like expand the business of it. And I was like, okay, someone needs to deep dive that lady and see if she's some kind of social worker or something, and see if she like talked someone into doing that, so that she could expand her little business like with new franchise. $10,000 for a fucking box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Very bizarre. Surreal. I dug a little bit more into it about some, the negatives of it. And obviously the main one is, you're going straight into foster care, CPS. broken
And
system.
like what I was thinking is like, what would stop like the mom or the dad if they're fighting to just put the baby in the box? Because there's like no questions asked. We're just going to take this baby in. We're not going to try to like contact anyone. So what if the dad's pissed at the mom or vice versa? And one of them just drops the kid in.
Yeah, I think the majority is going to be the mom doing it. So I mean, the father gets no.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
It'd be like an abortion. So the claim is that these people they're trying to stop abortion. That's where they come from. You know, that's what they claim. They don't want abortions. So if they do come to term and they have the baby, they want to give it an outlet so they can still get rid of it without killing it.
I thought that like, couldn't you just turn in a baby anytime at a at a fire station or something? I don't know why you need a $10,000 box.
Yeah, at the same hospital that the box is on, you could walk in with the baby.
Yeah, it's not, what did you do to your mic, Croco? Because it sounds better now. I just had to turn you up on my end.
I turned it down. I turned it down.
Okay, well, I turned you up on my side, so don't mess with anything. It sounds good now.
Yeah, and I'll chat from my phone, so I'm not banging my keyboard like a fucking caveman.
Yeah, it's loud when you're typing. It gets loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was like, I thought it was funny though.
People let me know. I learned.
It was hilarious though. I thought it was funny. So.
Yeah.
That stuff always amuses me personally.
My grandmother my grandmother spoke on the baby boxes. They used to leave them outside churches. So she was born in 1927, and I was very close to my grandparents. So we spoke on all sorts of different things. And she said to me, yeah, they used to have a box that was left outside the church overnight. And if a woman needed to put the baby in under different circumstances, whatever it may be, it would be then taken in and cared for. No questions asked. And it was the anonymity that was the big thing. So,
yeah.
That's what.
Well, it's not a terrible idea. I mean, in some ways, I guess. Yeah.
And so
I just don't get why you need a $10,000 box. Why can't you just surrender it?
No, I don't think you do. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I don't think that's necessary per se.
I had never heard of it, so I was just like.
Now in like 100 years, it's going to be a conspiracy, like the incubator babies. When they're talking about the Tartaria, they'll be like,
"No, me either."
If we can even
firehouses just spawn children in something called a baby box.
And yet we're nearly 100 years. Are we nearly 100 years on from when my nana was born? No.
27 almost.
If we can reproduce in 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not if we've all been diluted. Sorry.
Yeah, might be all infertile, castrated.
Right.
I was looking at this guy on eBay. I was looking at his eBay tonight, and he sells like really old pictures from like the 1850s, and around that era, Civil War. He has his actual pictures he sells, and then there's pictures of schoolhouses and just like families, and it's just so different to see, even all the way into like your grandmother's time, 1920s, the way they dressed and everything. Everyone's dressed up. Everyone's dressed very sharp.
Right.
And now, 100 years later, you're in basketball shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that long, really. 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she always, got up and everything was spot on. She was brought up in the Victorian era by her Victorian grandmother. So it was a really strange thing, She grew up even with rules even older because her mother gave her up to her grandmother. So there's this really sort of different, gap in that. But it's an interesting look back into the past, especially having been able to have great conversations with them over long periods of time as an adult myself. It's been
it seemed like the family stuck together more and for longer. You had one family in one house for a long time, and now as soon as the kid turns 18, they're moving out into their own house. And
right. Yeah, that's a huge thing. I think
the wealth of the family just gets separated and splintered as everyone does that.
Granddad was 13, So he was the eldest of 13 kids, and they grew up on an old property. And he's had a few. He told me about his UFO experience. So I
What'd
wanted.
he
Can I
see?
bring that?
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
segue to a UFO experience?
For sure.
So
Yes.
he standing out in his backyard one night in Sydney, in northern Sydney, standing out there just looking out, let the dog out for a wee, whatever. And he looked up and he said there were 5 orange bright lights just right there, like off into the horizon, not too far away. Absolutely. He knew what he saw. This is a man who painted the Harbour Bridge for 25 years. He saw a lot of weird stuff in his life. He said that one was a really, really, really weird one where there were these lights. He knew exactly what that was. He said that was a UFO that I saw for sure. He's stood inside submarines going in World War II, going underneath the oceans between Germany and England. And he said he stood on this, in the back end of this submarine where the propeller was, and standing on that spinning, not sure what you call the
propeller.
The pipe, that goes to the propeller on the outside, was a figure, a guy standing on the propeller. Like, he is just so wigged out. My grandfather was a straight down the line guy. He saw that. He said, "Whoa, that was really weird," because he knew
That's
was
crazy.
Yeah, that was mad.
What did he ever say what he thought it was? Just like an entity or something?
He said it was a ghost.
A ghost, okay.
Yeah, so a ghost. It was a miner, back in the day. Found shoes and stuff 3 kilometers underground, and buried in coal. All sorts of amazing stories, like they and he went, "Oh, we find all sorts of stuff, we just chuck it in the pile." Like, what?
Yeah, that's wild.
Great, that's mental. So we showed him a picture of. I said, "What did the bird look like?" And he's like, "Oh, it had like a star on it, like a picture of a star." My son brings out his phone. "Oh, Granddad, what's this? Is it what it looked like?" Converse boot. He goes, "Yep, that's exactly what it looked like." I'm like, how is that possible?
A Converse boot? In like what year did he find it?
In the coal. It would have been in the 1930s. He was down in the coal mines in England.
It was Truth or Cop. I'm traveling Truth or Cop, man.
Just leaving hints for us all.
Yep.
I love it.
Drew,
I love it.
Drew, are you a UFO guy?
I've never seen one. I believe in unidentified flying objects. I mean, we heard some stories tonight.
Are you an alien guy?
Nah, not really. But if there was something like it, to me, it would be like some kind of interdimensional or something type thing.
Yeah. Some people.
Well, we're being lied to about everything. And sorry, go ahead. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that. Go ahead. Sorry, I'll mute up. Go ahead.
Okay. Wasn't that big of a deal. Some people get a little nutty. Like, you'll see the Gaia.com stuff and like the David Wilcock stuff, like secret space program, blue avians. They meet them in space and talk to them. It's like, all right, dude.
I was into that at one point a long time ago.
Like a Truth or Baby Steps.
Yeah, like those, like, what's his dude's name is like John Lear or whatever. He's like, he talks about all this shit. He's like the Lear jet. It's like the dude, founder of the Lear jet, like his like.
Oh yeah.
Son or grandson or some shit. I used to be big into all that.
John Titor.
Yeah, John Titor, all that shit. No, I'm just
Phil Schneider.
Yeah, Phil Schneider. I remember him. Yeah.
Man, you guys keep bringing up Phil Schneider. That's so funny because I seen him years and years ago, and then I just watched him again recently, and then ever since I watched him, now everyone's talking about him again.
I was just like thinking back as someone mentioned Richie from Boston. Like, is he coming? Someone was just making a joke. Like, is he coming on? I'm like, nah, he's getting electroshock pulsed at the moment. Just
They said he was with his boy Mike Decker, Big Pecker Mike Decker, and they're camping together. They're snuggling up.
What's that? What's his company called? Decker's, like natural.
I don't even know
something.
who that is. I just heard people talking about him. I never even seen that dude.
The Health Ranger.
I don't guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that. What is that guy's name? Health Ranger.
I
forget his name.
Mike Decker.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
I think so.
Oh, I'm tripping. Okay.
They're all gay. They're all gay. It doesn't matter.
Okay, that I could see that. I could totally understand that.
Big Enchilada says truthers are into some kinky BDSM shit.
So is the debate community.
Any kind of streamer, that's what they get into, I think. Oh, Mike Adams. The chat saying that dude's
Mike
name.
Adams. Yeah,
Mike
that was
Adams.
his name, dude. I knew that wasn't right. I couldn't remember it. Yeah.
I had never heard of that guy either.
Sorry, Mike Decker, Mike Adams. I was way off.
Yeah, it was close. It was close. Yeah.
Fucking moron.
Skinwalkers. You know anything about skinwalkers, Davey?
I mean, I know what probably everybody else knows. You take a little more credence to it when you hear like the more older and ancient the stories get on something. I guess the same thing with Bigfoot could be true, where it's actually a human, not a cryptid. It'd be more human than an animal. But skinwalkers, I don't know what to make of it. Shapeshifters, interdimensional beings. It'd be up there with aliens for me.
Did any of you guys see that? There's a really, really interesting. Maybe you caught this, Drew. There was this really interesting documentary. I think it was on National Geographic Channel or one. But they went to the Skinwalker Ranch and they did, they investigated the people that owned it, the Bigelow Industries. There's a whole big, huge. I think there's like three seasons of TV shows where they go there. And they just record all kinds of, paranormal stuff, and I don't know, it's fascinating. It's really, really interesting. If you haven't seen it, give it a look. I know you guys probably know about the websites. You guys can watch shit for free. Watch stuff for free. You can find it there. 1, 2, 3 series or whatever. And you guys know what I'm talking about? Skinwalker Ranch?
I don't know where to find any of those free sites anymore. I'm so out of the game. I was trying to watch them. I was trying to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars football game last night for free. I'm like, I don't even know where to find the pay-per-views and shit anymore. I used to know all
the one I always use is 123series.ru.
123 series?
Yep.
.iu. Okay, I'm gonna use
.ru. .ru.
.ru. Okay, like
Russia. Like Russia. Mother Russia. Mother Russia has all my favorite
TV I can watch the UFC again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Except I don't know that they have live TV for that. I use US TV Go. And then you do need a VPN though.
Okay. I do have a VPN now.
Oh, do you? Yeah, go to ustvgo.tv.
You got to at Drew's stage in the game have a VPN because they're coming at him. They're coming at him, man. Secretly, silently, fucking Archaics is up to something.
He ain't shit.
No, they're all weak, but they're.
He's got, what is it, Opus? Opus is coming after you with the high technology.
I want to know if it works so well, why isn't he really rich?
Yeah, exactly, right? If you really had some predictive future type shit, you wouldn't be wasting your time on YouTube. You'd be too busy counting your money.
Yeah, that's true. They already make it. It's called trading algorithms in Python. Yeah.
The chat's talking about Benton. Yeah, go subscribe to Benton JA. That's the name of the channel, Benton JA for Jason. EBT says Drew started shilling for VPN. I have the Google One plan since I get paid by Google, right? I work for YouTube. Someone's gonna clip this out now. I work for YouTube. I get AdSense money. I have the Google One where I can upload more shit onto my account, and they give you a free VPN on that for your phone and for the desktop. And then not free. I mean, it's part of the plan for $100 for a year. And then I got I got the Google. What the hell is it called? Like the little, I forget what it's called. It's like the tiny little thing you put on your counter and you talk to it, the voice assistant fucking thing.
Google Home. I got one of those too.
Google Nest. That's what it's called. The Google Nest. I have that, and that thing's almost worthless to play music if you don't have the Google, the YouTube ad. What is it called? YouTube Premium. So the Google One doesn't include the premium. It should, but so then I have Google Premium too. So I have like a whole Google ecosystem in my house because I work for YouTube, right?
I know what you mean, man. Eventually, you got to invest in all that crap. That's how they get you.
But that's how I got the Google Nest, though, is that was a promotion for me to sign up for that Google One plan, is they would give me a free Nest. Because then they knew you got to buy the Google Premium. It's worthless without it. Because you just talk to it and say, okay, play this song or whatever, and then it plays a fucking ad. It's worthless.
Yeah.
But then this is the future, though. This is the future of like streaming and entertainment and stuff. Is like, for example, with this Google Nest, when I tell it to play something, it plays it with no ads. But when my wife tells it to play something, it plays an ad. And so that's going to be the future, is when you have like some kind of like pay-per-view event or whatever, like somehow, some way, they're going to have a way that the people that didn't pay for it aren't able to see it, even if you guys are all in the same room.
Oh, you're assed out. Can't get it.
Yep.
You ever heard of the YouTube Vanced app? Might look into that too.
What's that?
Vanced, VANCED. It's just an app that basically lets you play like YouTube music without any ads.
Oh well, I got the premium now.
Yeah.
And then with the premium, they give you like advanced features or unreleased beta features now, and one of them was like the ability to add videos into the queue that it's gonna play next. Whatever video. I'm like, dude, that should have been one of the first features they ever had. Like, why is that some like premium feature? That should have been
exactly.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I just don't like that I can't sort my entire library. I got like 10,000 songs on my library, and I can't sort by alphabet anymore, like I used to be. And it's like,
they make it worse and worse.
Yeah. Can you do that with the premium? Are you able to do that with the premium?
I'm not sure, because I only use the Google Music on that Nest device. I never use it on my phone. I have a Pixel phone as well, so I'm a pure Google whore. Pixel, a Nest, Google One, and Premium. I'm taking it in every hole from Google.
And the Pixel has the great speech to text feature, right? You can like talk into your phone.
It's okay. It's pretty good.
He's going full surveillance state on his house right now.
Oh yeah, dude. They know everything about. These people get so paranoid about it. I'm like, dude, they know everything about you anyway.
I was just talking last night about the Roomba vacuum, and MIT had this like study on it, and they found it was taking pictures of people like using the bathroom, and it
like maps out the inside of their homes, even
maps out the whole inside of your house. But then it was uploading the AI that it sent it to, the pictures, was uploading them to social media sites, the pictures of these people. So it's just this wild thing.
Even connect to my phone.
Jeez, that's crazy.
No, I'm just saying, get a smart woman. Don't get a smart vacuum.
Exactly.
Wait till the sex bots come. Once everyone has a sex bot in their home, it's going to be analyzing everything about you.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep it analog.
Right now, they're focusing on making them for child molesters. They want to give them.
I saw that they have like these little like young looking sex dolls or whatever.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
They think that's gonna curb them from doing harm to real people.
It's gonna make them want to do it
make
more.
It worse.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Filth world right now.
Yeah, I can't believe the shit that people allow to happen. It's like They're just so
Sometimes I
worried.
wonder why I got dropped here.
It's like people are just worried about the backlash of pushing back against it. They don't want to be called like a racist or a homophobe or any of that shit.
Well, yeah. Well, goddamn, it's like if you do anything outside of the pre-molded, predetermined spectrum of ideas, then you're attacked. You know, you're basically treated like some kind of Hitler or something. You know, just for thinking outside their box. You know. It's
Yeah,
like,
and they want to like attack or like go after your job and everything.
Yeah, for real.
Try to make it where you can't even live.
Attack your livelihood. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like that girl that was talking about we talked about this the other night before we got cut off. The girl that wanted to fuck dogs and they took her job away from her.
Yeah, you wonder why your stream got caught because we're open the stream with like, yeah, this girl's a trans canine and she fucks dogs, and then the next thing you know, the stream's fucking got woofed.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
No.
Whoa. Oh. Ooh.
But that's what I was saying. I knew since most people probably didn't see the stream, it was a lady that was trans canine and she had some OnlyFans or something. So apparently she thinks she's a dog and she wanted to do dogs on the OnlyFans or something. And I said years and years and years ago, I knew this lady. It was my neighbor's friend. So I would go drinking over at the neighbor's. And this lady just came in and talked about like it was just everyone does it. She's like, yeah, I have to go home and like jerk off my dog or something like, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? And she's like, yeah, you have to, otherwise like I don't really remember exactly what she was, but it was just so like casual. She said it. I'm like, and she was dead serious. She's like, yeah, because like if you don't like basically if you don't milk the dog, it's gonna get mean or something. I'm like, what? And then so ever since then, I'm like worried about the pit bull mommies, the ladies that have the big dogs. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know.
This was in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because I'm convinced now the trans canine girl is full on trolling, but there are real ones that are out there talking openly.
Yeah,
about,
I think
like,
some women use it as a way to kind of like control the dog. Is they're the one that the dog comes to get a release.
No, I think
that's
she's
what I
trolling.
Think. No, I know, but I'm
trolling.
saying I think it's way more common than people think. I don't think it's like common. But if you think it never happens, I think it happens maybe like 5% of these women that have these big dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because the one girl I heard talking about it was talking about a Great Dane. Like she wanted it big. Dogs. Yeah, she wanted it rough.
Weirdos. Exactly. B Smiley says even if it's a troll, there will be young people that copy the behavior exactly. Big Enchilada said that stuff's all over the internet. Where are you going, Big Enchilada? I've never seen that. I've never come across that shit.
Whoa. Keep search on moderate.
Yeah.
Note to self.
No,
I'm gonna
you have to.
Guys. I'll see ya. Thanks for having me on.
Sorry about the dog stuff.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, it's like I really enjoyed listening to some of your stories. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
they're out there in Australia.
It's a really strange, new world, isn't it? It's weird out there.
Strange times with some strange fellas.
Yeah. All right, peace out.
I think I'm going to shut it down for tonight, but next Sunday I'll do this again on this channel, and anyone that wants to call in, we'll have, I don't know what the topic will be. We'll pick a topic and chop it up the same way. I'll try to do like the first hour on topic and second hour we can just freestyle, do whatever. But thanks to everyone that called in. Go ahead.
I gotta give EBT saying 2 girls, 1 Shih Tzu a shout out. That's fucking hilarious.
Shout out to EBT. Yeah, and thanks to Bizwell for everyone that called in. And
thanks for
it was a great stream. I tried to make it different than my normal streams, and I thought it went great. So hopefully it will. I like StreamYards. Yeah, like it was super easy for me to set up. If no one's ever used it, if you thought about it, it was like as easy as it could be, and it worked seamlessly as soon as I did it the first time. So,
All right.
Cool, man.
All
Bill,
right, man.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yep.
DWO. Take care.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.